guys. We're going to be talking about the Odyssey. Feminism. Sure, I poem about feminism. They want a matriarchy, but we had a matriarchy in England, and guess what? Queen of England was a masculine ass bitch. Masculine as fuck. She knew what to do. She knew what laws to abide by. What people think. What is the difference between a patriarchy and a matriarchy? It's just the genders that do it. It doesn't mean that they don't do the same things. See, the feminist bitches, excuse me, hoes. That's all haunted house too. I don't know, it was one. Hoes fine. Okay, hoe. The hoe. Feminist hoes. They're just communists. What they think is with emotions. How they feel is what they interpret. I said, wait a minute, but your feelings constantly change. There's no rule with feelings. To break down feelings, here's how feelings actually work, and I think a lot of people could agree with this. Feelings are interpretations of your intelligence. So, when you're fucking stupid as fuck, when you're younger, or if you stay dumb for the bulk of your life, and you run on just your feelings, that just means things that you don't understand, you want to change to understand it. Because you do that based upon how you feel. But, your feelings are connected to your knowledge. So if you're told a specific way of living, like feminism are, they're told to be feminism, they're told to say patriarchy bad because women can do it better, but women did do it. What the fuck are you talking about? We have women leaders that do the right thing. It's not doing a masculine thing. It's doing what is right that makes sense. These people are just fucking stupid. They try to say a gender does things differently. No, they don't. You put a queen with a king, and they actually conversate about things. Yeah, the queen might be more understanding with emotions, and the king might be more understanding with logic. But they would come to the conclusion what would be right, best for the country. You know what they would say? I agree with you with how you stand. Things need to be done in this way. Act of war, they understand that things are going to have to be done. A woman might feel different about it because a man's more structurally sound when it comes down to physical stuff. But a man also has to understand that sometimes you don't have to be so dramatic and so destructive with your physical forces. Like when you fight someone, some people fight with grace. They fight with smoothness. They don't fight with violent acts of the brawling system where you sit there just keep on punching people get punched. It's like Muay Thai. Not even Muay Thai. Muay Thai is the masculine time though. You just beat the fuck out of people with elbows and knees, and unfortunately that only kills people. But like Wing Chun. Wing Chun's like flow of water. It's a combination of deflecting and doing little hits here and there to bring down your enemy. Hitting pressure points and stuff like that. But Wing Chun was made for women. See the difference in fighting style? That's how it is with the patriarchy and matriarchy. A matriarchy is they have to be more smooth, stuff like because even though they have the command of an army that's basically all men, but the way they think has to be more smoother to some sense. Because they know they're not strong. Their armies are strong, but they know because they're a woman, they understand it. That's the difference between women back then, just to say, and women now. Women now think they're fucking men. They think they're strong like men. No, your feelings empathize with your weakness And when you get those feelings of weakness, you get fucking mad, and then you want to portray that you're strong. A lot of fucking yapping and no action. Trust me, I work with people like this. I had a lady that came in to me. She came in, she was a stripper. Big old fake tits and shit, you know. And she was an older one, too. And in fact, she looked, you know, terrible, honestly, for her age. She wasn't that attractive. She tried way too damn hard. But she ended up showing me a picture of her when she was younger than that. And she was spectacularly fucking attractive as fuck. But she did drugs, she did the whole, you know, fall off the path thing. And now she's struggling. Well, anyway, why I'm bringing her up is because she ended up texting one of my managers trying to get her job back. And then she started taking pictures of random expensive cars and say that, oh, these are my cars that I have now. But you need a job. But you don't have money to be able to get that car because I know you don't have money. If you have money, then why the fuck do you need a job? Prime example of a feminist woman. All feelings can make shit up to make her feel like people know, but the truth of it is, it's a lie. That's kind of how emotions go with feminists. They'll feel all these types of things, and your feelings are connected to, like I say, with your knowledge. But they're also connected to the spirit world. This is where it gets really fucking interesting. Our spirit world is a compound of evil and good. God, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, all of His angels, from the, you know, cherubim to the celestial higher-ups of the throne, the burning ones, to all the archangels and all the little angels below there, that all track and do certain things that God wants them to do. And the thing of it is, same thing with the demons. Lucifer, which is called Satan, and they call him Satan because he's the Lord of lies. He's the opposite of God towards us. He can't lie to God because God already knows. God knows everything that Lucifer and everything that all the fallen angels are doing. He knows exactly what they're doing, when they're going to do it, how they're going to do it. Everything's already known. But see, we're in the middle of both of these galactic, you know, spirit worlds fighting against each other for our sake. One hates us, says you need to be condemned like me. The other one loves us, says you need to be loved like God wants you to love. The thing is, God's in the middle of all of it between us. So you got angels and demons both fighting with God's authority. It's kind of weird. But when you talk about emotions, your emotions specifically change based upon good and evil. So, you divide good and evil, which what's good and evil. Only way to divide anything is by knowing what they are. So first off, this lady that I work with, the truth is, she wants to think, you know, in her own truth, I talked to her about it, she wants to think that she can take on a man my size. And she was bringing up her ex and all stuff. It's just all talk. I said, there's no way. Your limp little ass, being maybe 140 pounds, because you're overweight and that for me, but you're 5'2", you're not going to be able to take on a man. If a man went full fucking brute force on any woman, especially if he is trained, he does lift weights, the man's going to dominate in a physical sense. That's how it always will be. It's just how it is. But you bitches like that shit. You like being tossed around, because they ain't gonna lie, you some of you bitches fucking be crazy as fuck. You love being manhandled. I already know that for a fact. I have plenty of experience with shit. But the whole reality of it is, she wants to lie about her power that doesn't exist in that way. I said, that's why you don't have a man. Because men know men. You females are feminists, you don't know you're female. There's women that literally hate being sexy. They hate being attractive. I see it. Like, they fucking hate it. They pierce their noses. They fuck their faces up. Look, I'm a man. You're a woman. Be a fucking woman. And the thing of it is, not all of them are doing it, though. Like, they know when to persuade. And this is where it really gets kind of fucked up. Women's manipulations are the extreme highest because they're going against men. The way men most times manipulate women, they don't have to speak it. They just are it. So if a woman sees a really attractive looking man, broad shoulders, he's got big muscles and shit, he looks stylish, so to speak, because he's just really handsome and that. Dude can literally walk around in a fucking turban, you'll probably think that he's hot. Anyway. The dude's just really attractive. He might not even have money, but that wouldn't even matter. A woman would literally take that and make a fantasy out of it. And yes, this is where a lot of these stories that are mixed up, romantic stories, that think all men should look like this. But when they look at themselves and a man says, well, you need to have bigger titties, baby, because your titties are small, they get mad. Says, so you want to manipulate the reality that you want to live in. And I see a lot of these ugly fat bitches on TikTok and that they're like, I deserve this. They're just all talking because they just want attention, which is another thing that they have issues with. That men have very slow issues with. That they gravitate towards this attention. I say, you're relying on your emotions too much. You're relying on how you feel about everything, more or less what is actually happening. Their sense of reality. So, like, with my feelings, things were happening yesterday. One of the guys, the dude was fucking tweaking out his fucking mind. He was very super hyperactive and that. He was constantly telling, he was being a dickhead toward my manager and that, and like he was doing it, but it was truthful to a certain extent. He kept on telling him to shut up because he kept on like complaining about stuff and that, and he was being right, but he was being very fucking ignorant about it because he kept on doing it. So, in one sense, what he was saying was right, but he kept on doing it, so it got really fucking annoying. And then everyone got quiet around him. And since his brain was tweaking out, because his brain was all over the place, like this dude was high on fucking meth or something. And he was just sitting there, like, asking a million fucking questions. Hey. I'm like, oh my god, bro, like, shut the fuck up. Like, literally, you just work. I had to be quiet about it, because it's just really fucking annoying. And I was, I did some prayers and that, and finally it released itself. He started apologizing and stuff. Dude was high off his fucking knockers, bro. That's just ridiculous. But in some sense, I was thinking, he was kind of right. What he was saying wasn't wrong at all. But it's how he was doing it that was a little bit too much. And so as we were going through this sort of like, bullshit, right before I ended up going home, I was like talking to him about it. I said, hey, he's right in his own path. I just don't he needs to be written up for this. This is full on harassment. Honestly, he should just lose his job. Because this is an unstable workplace that you have to walk into this. He didn't bother me because there was nothing to bother. Here's why he didn't bother me. And I know people will agree. It's because the intentions of his spirit had nothing to do with me. Because he knew who I was, because I was more mature than him in some senses. No sense because of drugs, but the truth of the person, how they truly feel in their insides and their heart. I feel no contempt to hate this person. I dislike how he acted, but he was morally fucking stupid. But I think, though he was on drugs, sometimes when you're drunk, you speak the fucking truth, what's on your heart. People can't elaborate that shit. They can't talk about what's actually how they're feeling. Because they're facing rejection. I say, well, you can't interpret on another person. And this is where a lot of people get issues with rejection. If they don't understand, then they make a fantasy out of it. And they fantasize about being with someone that they're not actually with. Now, for instance, you can fantasize about someone if you know that person likes you, because then that fantasy of what that person's thinking is going to connect with you. Because that person's thinking the same thing. You know, all the love and all the stuff, but they can't be together because of circumstances. But when you get one person fantasizing, they're doing all these works with their brain that they're consciously making up a reality that doesn't exist. So when they get rejected from their own reality that they made up in their head, it fucking hurts their feelings. Because they're manipulating themselves to feel about something instead of having the truth. That's why when Jesus said the truth will set you free, he's saying all truth of someone to another person, or just truth altogether, what God interprets onto us through his words, sets you free from all the other lies. So you'll know when someone's lying and someone's telling the truth, because you grasp it a lot easier. Because it goes based upon the senses that you have. Someone says, shit smells like roses, and you're like, well, I never smelled shit before. You smell shit, you're like, that doesn't smell like roses. It smells like shit. And then you know, your senses are telling you to gain the knowledge, and they're saying the person was lying. Then you know he's lying. Same thing with how people talk. People talk various of ways. When you see something that doesn't make quite sense, like seeing a little female woman that's barely 100 pounds trying to pick a fight with a dude that's over 200 pounds. Everyone fucking knows that woman can't do nothing. Her strength is not high enough. And the guy's mass is too much. She couldn't damage him because it wouldn't be enough. Like certain things a person can do, yes. Girls always say when I kick people in the balls and that. I said, most guys, you know, their balls are not that big. And most guys know when a girl kicks, I throw my leg up. And I have many girls try to kick me in the balls. I remember one girl kicked me in the balls and I had no idea why. Her emotions got the best of me. She slammed in my nuts and it fucking hurt. And I was young too. And I was just like, what the fuck is your problem, bitch? Oh my God, you shouldn't say anything. Yeah, we already know how women are. They just make them. That's why most romantic novels are all about getting fucked by, you know, these godly looking men. They're like, hi, I'll take you out. You'll have millions of dollars because you're so beautiful. And the girl's like, all fucked up, and they have fucking titties and shit. The guy's like, oh, you're so beautiful. And she's like, God, I take you out. Oh, yeah, you get butt sack. Oh, that's so hot. These fantasies are fucking ridiculous. And then you look at the woman, they look like a big pile of shit. Why? Well, most likely because they're unhealthy, they don't take good care of themselves. But when you go to the gym, you see these gorgeous women. I see them all the time. Perfect round butts and they actually take good care of themselves. Those girls are fucking... They know that they're attractive because they look at themselves. And they're saying, hey, guys are probably going to like this big old ass that I have on me. And then when they notice the attention comes, because that's what men do, men like attractive things. They want to say women are very all cutesy-wootsy towards animals. Men are just as good with that, if not no better with that. Men have an attraction towards things that are attractive when they're small. When it comes down to, you know, height and stuff like that, like most men like shorter women. Shorter women, they like, you know, they like the nice, you know, perky asses and tits and shit. But on the other side, some men like these big old fat husky bitches. And normally it's always the skinny ridley dudes that do it. It's always the ones that are smaller than the average man. They're like these big old masculine bitches. They're like, hey, how you doing, man? He's like, oh, I do good. My name's Helga. He's like, I do go smooth on you. You go shoo. What's snooze do? think they want to have sex with us. This is Futurama. Yeah! Oh my god, yeah! And this is another thing I love when women say this as well. Because someone to focus on fake reality sex because they all stick dildos in their asses to like a bunch of shit. When you watch something and you're fucking jacking yourself off and playing with it, with your privates in that, when you're watching it, your fantasy becomes that fantasy. You only like that. And that's how you really get judgmental people. They don't go with the heart, they go with the looks. And they try to say, well, no, I go with the, no. Personality is the person's heart. But you're not focused on that. You're focusing how they look. Even though you don't look that good, but you want everyone else looking good, that's just kind of how it works. You have to look the part. If I had a really attractive girl right next to me, with fucking fat booty cheeks and nice little tits and shit, obviously, I would want to look the fucking part. And she only liked me because my personality and how I do things and that, because she actually loves my heart. She loves who I am. She doesn't want to look at my body as anything that's going to be an issue. And this is where you get with issues of modern day bullshit. Back in the old days, everyone was healthy and skinny. You never see a lot of fat people. You see guys that were fucking just big motherfuckers. Yeah, you see big ass dudes that were fucking, just husky people and that because they were thick bone. They were genetically created that way. But when you look at it from a perspective of how everything is, you have a way of looking. Like I, as a man, I look at Pacific women. Hence why I kind of desire my man that I work with, because she has that fit that I like. I like short girls with reddish hair and perky fat little asses. I don't care about how big her tits are, because to me, yeah, it needs to be there if it is there. But to me, it's always the slenderness of the body and that, have that meat on her ass. So I look around, say at the gym, that's what I am highly attracted to. And I see that all the time. There's not a lot of girls with big boobs nowadays. Most chicks have B cups to A cups, B cups to C cups. Most times they have B cups. The average shape ratio is not C's anymore, they're B's. I see a lot of B cup A's, and they're all over the place. But they all got that fat ass, and they all got grown to have bigger butts. They carry more fat in their ass. It's just how it is. But when I look at it from that perspective, I think every man likes ass more than boobs. Boobs are great, yeah, and they have them. But when you look at a woman, it's always that kind of fine way of like, okay, I don't know. And same thing with men. Most guys I see nowadays, guys really don't change that much because their changes are based upon their muscles. How muscular they are just determines on genetics. How skinny they are, of course, aren't they? Skinny throughout the whole entire life, they never stay skinny. But they do gain weight. They gain a little bit of weight over the years, and that because of laziness and anxieties and that. But meanwhile, that's just how it is. When I say that's just how it is, that's a normalcy of life. When you get people that want these fantasies of something so perfection, but they don't look the part, they complain about it. I said, well, they look the part. Well, that's not fair. Wait a minute. So, it's fair for the man to look spectacular at the fucking six-pack and have the fucking 32-inch dong. Because you're just thinking about the pleasure of it. You're not thinking about the person, because you don't care about the person. You don't care about what they're going to do for you not necessarily what you're gonna do. See, it's just like, you know, put this in perspective. It's just like a dog. Everyone loves dogs. Everyone loves cats. People love animals. Why? Because they're cute and adorable. It doesn't even matter what kind of brand of animal they are. They're still cute and adorable. It's just how it is. Because they're small and they got the pretty face, they got the furriness of it. It makes them attractive. So if you look at a human being, you know, can you say all human beings are attractive? No. Truth be told, there's some ugly ass people out there. But the ugly ass people still get in relationships. Because they don't define themselves just for looks. There's some women that I've seen that are fucking not that attractive looking in the face. But their bodies are immaculate. They got trimmed, cut, you know, toned body and that. And their sexiness goes through the fucking roof. And the way they positive themselves is once you get each woman that believes that. She wasn't the best looking woman that came down to the face. Her body was immaculate. She had a little six pack and that, but she was just really fucking skinny. And she like, you know, she did a lot of cardio because she always worked and she didn't eat other things. No, she had a nice, cute, fat little booty on her night, no. But it's just the way she acted. And I remember one day, you know, I said I was just talking to her and I was just kind of being, I was being joking to a certain extent. I said, you're like a dime in a dozen, you know? It's like there's not a lot of women that are out there like that. She's like, I know, you know. And she was being prissy about it. Because she gets a lot of compliments. And another girl came around, she got offended by it. She looked at me because she gave me that look like, what about me? You don't talk about me like that. Well, it's because you don't talk to me at all. Hence the reason why you're not getting that attention. You barely ever talk to me. You hide yourself away. And if I compare the two chicks, the other chick had more of attraction towards her when it came down to her body. She had big fucking ass. She was a mix of black woman, you know, and she had a huge fucking ass. She had big fucking booty. She was short, but she lifted a lot of weights and she got really thick fucking muscle legs. And like, I remember the day that she took me, you know, home to that. That's where it always starts. They always want to take you home. Like, you know, she was really nice and that, but you know, it's very selective when I take you home. But like, she's the one that asked me. You know, I was just gonna walk over. It was raining. And she's going to take you home. He's like, well, no. He's like, I'll feel bad. I'm like, okay. And we went in the car and we started talking about it. And I could tell that she was trying to interact with me. And that because she, you know, it was my first time, like the first couple of weeks there. And I knew that she had sort of attraction towards me. She didn't take me home again. Because people start staring stuff at me and start getting stuff. The worst thing to do when you're an attractive man working with a whole bunch of fucking hot bitches,